Hi there, and welcome to 10 Dumb Things Managers Do to Screw Up Performance Appraisals. I'm also hoping that you have viewed or will be viewing the program called 7 Dumb Things Employees Do to Screw Up Performance Appraisals. Okay, let's talk about us now with performance appraisals. Some managers would rather crawl across broken glass than do performance appraisals. And unfortunately, the employee review process is often unpleasant and often avoided because managers make some common errors in undertaking the process. Now, performance appraisals are not always fun, but a lot of time they're agonizing because managers do really dumb things and they end up destroying a process that is important, or at least should be important, to everyone. So we're going to talk about a list of the most common things managers do to make the process harder for themselves as well as employees. Okay, dumb thing number 1 is spending more time on performance appraisal than performance planning and ongoing performance communication. The thing about performance appraisals is they are really the end of a process that should be going on all the time. A process that's based on good communication between manager and employee. So more time, quite frankly, should be spent on preventing performance problems than evaluating at the end of the year. When managers do communicate during the year, the appraisal is so much more easy to do and so much more comfortable because there won't be any surprises. Dumb thing number 2 is comparing employees with each other. If you want to create really bad feelings and really damage morale and get staff to compete so badly that they will not work as a team, then rank staff or compare staff to each other. Not only can you create friction among your staff, but you will become a target for hostility. Dumb thing number 3 is forgetting appraisal is about improvement and not blame. We do appraisal to improve performance, not to find a donkey to pin a tail on or to blame. Managers who forget this really end up developing staff who don't trust them or even can't stand them. So the blaming process is pointless and it doesn't help anyone. The point of performance appraisal is getting managers and employees working together to make everyone better. Dumb thing number 4 is thinking a rating form is an objective, impartial tool. Many companies use rating forms to evaluate employees, the ones that are like 1 to 5 ratings type of things. And they do that because it's faster than doing it right or doing it on a deeper level. The problem comes when managers really believe that those ratings are in some way real or anything but subjective. If you have 2 people that rate the same employee, the chances of them agreeing on those ratings are actually going to be very small. Even if you and the employee are rating the employee, again, you'll find that those chances of having a common rating are small. That's because it's subjective. So say to yourself over and over and over, ratings are subjective. Rating forms are subjective. Rating forms are not behavioral. Dumb thing number 5 is stopping performance appraisal when a person's salary is no longer tied to the appraisal. Lots of managers do this, and they conduct appraisals that they have to do just to increase or just to justify a pay increase. Now, when staff hit their ceiling in terms of pay, or pay is not connected to appraisal and performance, managers don't bother anymore. That's really dumb. Stopping performance appraisals when you're tying them to salary is dumb because performance appraisals are about performance improvement, not about just money. So some people think it's just about pay. That might be part of it, but it's primarily about performance appraisal. If nothing else, everyone needs feedback on how they're doing their jobs, whether money is involved or not. Dumb thing number 6 is managers believing that they are actually in a position to accurately assess staff. So often, we as managers delude ourselves into believing that we can assess staff performance, even if we hardly see our staff doing their jobs or the results from their jobs. It's just not possible all the time. For some positions it is, but not for all positions, so we have to be aware of that. Most managers, quite frankly, are not in a position to monitor staff consistently enough to be able to really assess well. That's why the performance appraisal it has to be considered to be a partnership between the employee and the manager. Dumb thing number 7, this is really dumb, is canceling or postponing appraisal meetings. And this happens a lot. Probably because nobody really likes to do performance appraisals, so managers will postpone them with the drop of a hat. But why is this bad? It's bad because it sends a message to employees that the process is unimportant. Dumb thing number 8 is measuring or appraising the trivial. Now, it's kind of a fact of life that the easiest things to measure or evaluate are oftentimes the least important things with respect to doing a job. Things such as defining customer service by she picks up the phone within 3 rings, something like that. That's really just not that relevant. But it's easy to measure. What's not easy to measure is the overall quality of service that will get and keep members. That's what we need to think about, is how does each employee do that? What are the things that we're measuring? Are they trivial or are they really substantive? And measuring overall customer service is hard, so a lot of managers don't do it. All right, dumb thing number 9 is surprising employees during appraisal. This is such a dumb thing. So if you really want to waste time and create bad performance, then don't talk to your staff the entire year. Don't give them any feedback. In other words, when they mess up, don't deal with it. Save it all up. And then at the appraisal meeting, you're going to truck everything out that you saved up in the bank and you're going to dump it in their lap. That'll show them who's boss. That's called being a boss hole. And it is a really dumb thing to do. You've got to communicate throughout the entire year. So let's talk about dumb thing number 10. And that is thinking all employees and all jobs should be assessed in exactly the same way using the same procedures. I'd like to ask you, do all employees need the same things to improve their performance? Of course not. Some need specific feedback, some don't. Some need more communication than others. All jobs are different. So why do we insist on using the same evaluation or same appraisal forms for every position? It's just silly. One size does not fit all. So don't make that mistake. Consider what each job is about and use appraisal forms that appraise the performance for that particular position. All right, so I'd like you to consider the 10 dumb previous things and determine whether or not they occur in your organization. And if they do, eliminate them, and you'll find that your performance appraisal process becomes so much more valuable and so much more enjoyable for both managers and employees. Thanks for listening.